The Untouchables and the Pax Britannica by Babasaheb Ambedkar. Part 68. Collector to apply to the magistrate in case of Brahmins establishing a cour or being prepared to kill or wound women or children on account of any process from the revenue department. 6. In the event of any Brahmin or Brahmins establishing a cour or preparing to wound or slay his or their women or children, or any or either of them, with a view to prevent the serving of any dastak or writ on him or them for arrears of revenue by the local tehsildar or by the collector of Benares, in the manner in which by regulation 6/1795 they are respectively authorized to issue such dastaks, if it be the dastak of the tehsildar that is thus opposed, he is not, after being informed thereof, to persist in enforcing it, but is to report the case immediately to the collector, accompanied by the written testimonies of the peon deputed to serve the dastak. Upon receipt of this information, or in case of his original process being in like manner resisted, the collector is to represent, through the vakil of government, the amount of the balance due by such Brahmin or Brahmins, and the circumstances attending the issuing of his own or of his tehsildar's process for realizing it, to the judge and magistrate of the city or zilla, in whose jurisdiction the lands on account of which the arrear shall be due may be suited, and upon the peon deputed with the tehsildars or the collector's dastak or any other creditable person or persons attending in court and making oath to the truth of the circumstance stated in the representation of the collector, either as to the constructing of a cour by such Brahmin or Brahmins, or as to his or their being prepared to wound or slay the women and children, or any of them, according as one or both of these expedients shall be stated to have been resorted to by the Brahmin or Brahmins in question. The magistrate is thereon to issue to such Brahmins a written notice under his official seal in the Persian language and character, and in the Hindustani language and Nagari character, which is to be served on him by or them by such of the relations, friends, or connections of the said Brahmin or Brahmins as the magistrate may think fit, and have an opportunity of employing for the purpose, and in default of such relations, friends, or connections of the said Brahmin or Brahmins. The magistrate is to cause the notice to be served by a single peon of the same religion, and the tenor of it shall require the said Brahmin or Brahmins to remove the poor and the women and people that may be placed in it, or to desist from any preparation for wounding or killing the women or children, according as either or both of these offences may be charged in the information, as likewise either to discharge the balance of rent of revenue that shall have been demanded from him or them, or to appear, and entering security for such part of it as he or they may have pleased against the payment of, to file his or their objections to the payment of such part in the city or zilla court, that the merits of the case may be inquired into and decided according to the principles by which other disputed demands and accounts of revenue are, under section and regulation 6/1795, directed to be determined, and the said notice is also to contain a positive and encouraging assurance to the Brahmin or Brahmins in question that on his or their employing with the exigency of it by removing the cour and the persons therein, or by desisting from any preparation to wound or slay the women and children, and either discharging the balance of revenue in demand, or repairing in person, or deputing a vakil to the city or zilla court, and entering security for the amount of it, proper inquiry shall be made into the pleas that he or they may have to state against the justice of the demand. If the issuing of the notice shall fail to induce the said Brahmin and Brahmins to comply with the requisitions of it, a written return to that effect is to be made and attested by the party or parties entrusted with the serving of it, and the magistrate is immediately to issue a warrant under his official seal and signature for the apprehension of such Brahmin or Brahmins, in which shall be specified and the misdemeanor, contumacy, and arrear with which he or they stand charged, and the warrant shall be executed by peons of the Mohammedan religion as directed in section 2. And if the Brahmin or Brahmin shall refuse to obey or resist, or cause to be resisted, the peons deputed to serve it or escape after being taken by them into custody or abscond, or shut himself or themselves up in any house or building, or retire to any place, so that the warrant cannot be served on him or them, the magistrate on information to this effect shall issue a precept to the elector to cause the nearest tehsildar to attach the lands that such Brahmin or Brahmins may possess in property or in mortgaged or in the farm or lakaraje, and the land shall accordingly remain attached, and the profits of them be appropriated by government until the liquidation of the balance shall be effected, either from the produce or in consequence of the said Brahmin or Brahmins making good the same from his or their other means, and also until the said Brahmin or Brahmin shall have been brought or made his or their appearance before the court, when here they shall be tried for being concerned either as principals or accomplices in setting up the coup, or for having been prepared to wound or slay his or their women or children, or any or either of them, in the same manner and with the same reservation as to the mitigation of the sentence as is specified in sections 2, 3, and 4. The end.